Yes, sir. Come on into the building, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is your homie HerbMan busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love Erdman. All right, we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere, get situated so that you can hear what the HerbMan Show has to offer you guys. We teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you about your human frame and your human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that we all deserve, including you. So this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. All right. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen, liking, sharing, getting this out to as many people as possible. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Look, I'm going to work for the 100K. All I ask for you to do is be interactive, be here, show up, be present, be in the moment. Get what you came to get. Go back out into the world and apply it and allow your life to get better. You get better and do better for you, your family, and everything that you ever dreamed of in your life. All right. So once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. So all this time I've been teaching you guys about the owner's manual, and I've been teaching you guys about nature, and I've been teaching you guys about herbalism and the true understanding of herbalist should be an advocate for nature. You got to be an advocate for the preservation and the conservation of these plants and of these particular phytonutrients and of these particular gardenings and farming procedures that sustain and maintain nature in itself. That's a true herbalist. You got to love nature. Now, outside of that, you guys, you don't have to in order for it to be a prerequisite for you to sell it. But I'm just telling you really what you got to be able to do. Now, once you find that person is in love with nature, now you have to understand that that person must also learn how to be able to process nature. That means cook it, boil it, steam it, make it cold, put a patch on you, whatever, a poultice, whatever the case may be. They also have to learn how to apply those things. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because everything is a balancing act. And I told you that the purpose of life is to reach balance. Okay? The purpose of life is to reach balance, but it doesn't stop there. Okay? The purpose of life is to reach balance, but it's not the end goal, because balance is not something you necessarily reach and say, I'm finished. Balance is something that you must continuously restore. Now, this is the fundamental principle behind your life. If you listen, you guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. Look, this thing ain't still. You can look at this in so many different ways, but life is not still. Okay. Life is not still, it's cyclical, it spirals. Okay. So this means that you have to learn how to come back and return back to balance. Okay. If you guys want to leave the live right now, you can. That was it. Life is not still, nature is not still, and you are not sitting still. You're constantly in motion. You're constantly in motion. So balancing must be what you learn how to do while in motion. Somebody put that in the chat, please. I need to balance while I'm in motion. It ain't just an end goal. It's a tool, it's a tactic that you pick up. It's an instrumentation. It's not only is balance the purpose, but it's also the law of power. Thank you, Free Bird. I need to balance while I'm in motion. I got to learn how to return. See, the sun returns to its setting position. It returns to its rise position. It goes all the way around the sun's ecliptic and it keeps touching points. That means it keeps returning. But see, what you do is you may start here, but you get so far right and you don't know how to come back. You get so far left and you don't know how to. So balance is in essence the ability to adjust on the fly, on the go. the ability to return while being on the go, the ability to respond on the go. That's what balance truly is. It's your ability to adjust. Balance is not necessarily staying centered in the way we teach it. It's just you learning how to come back to center. Center is where you're supposed to be, but that ain't where you always at. So therefore, while you're moving through this particular circumference of the life experience, just like the circadian rhythm, just like the sun's ecliptic moving through your life, you are also moving through this life as well. And as you move through these particular junctions of life, you need to learn how to return back to center. Learn how to return back to center, not stay there. Just know how to return. Somebody put this in the chat. I ain't telling you to stay, but do you know how to go back? Yes, sir. Gonna be a good one today. You might well keep tapping. I'm gonna keep on talking. And so that's why the owner's manual is so important, because it teaches you where you're currently located and what the destination is, but at the same time, how you're moving through life. When you get that visual of how you're moving through life and what the life seasons and the lessons are for you, that is going to benefit you moving forward. We ain't asked you to stay centered. We saying learn how to come back. See, the occult law of polarity, when we're talking about Kabbalah, everything exists in the opposites, right? Remember that polarity is the recipe. Hot needs cold. Light needs dark. Feminine needs masculine. Expansion needs contraction. But opposites is not your enemy. Somebody please let me stop right here. It's live on TikTok, live on YouTube. You guys, I want you to hear this, that your ops is really not your enemy. Oh my goodness. See, we play around with wordplay in our culture, and we make things come out of something that you really don't understand where it come from. But I'm here to tell you that your ops is really not your enemy. Because opposition is part of the same force. When you look at the positive and the negative on your battery, they both are necessary for you to move. They both is necessary for that car to crank up and go. Opposite ain't never been enemy. Woman, masculine and feminine ain't never been enemies. And once you start to underline and once you start to really come down to really learn what the HerbMan is bringing to the world, what HerbMan Inc., what that label stands for, what that logo, what the brand stands for, is to try to get you to tap into this old recipe called polarity, where the power comes from understanding how to use opposition within oneself, how to use opposition within nature. Energy exists because of this major difference. Tension creates movement. Contrast creates awareness. Without polarity, nothing moves. Nothing creates the power. There's not enough friction without opposition to create the fire, the spark, to create the dynamic in which you're looking for. You got sick. What's the opposition of sickness? If you got sick in the body, what's the opposition of that? Anybody know? Before we move forward, I need to know that you guys are listening. What's the opposition of broke? What's the opposition of lonely? You got to know what's necessary. What's the recipe to get this thing here moving? Yes, sir. To get it moving. Because life requires imbalance to create movement, but it requires balance to sustain the movement. Listen to life requires imbalance, that friction, to move a thing. But it also requires balance to sustain the movement. You got to keep that friction going. You got to keep that opposition going. You got to keep that thing going to move that train, to move that car, to move that life. You have to keep this opposition going. Don't look at opposition as a negative, a bad, or wrong, or an enemy. Look at opposition as a necessary energy. Okay? Somebody says sick equals repair and wellness. Okay, but see, here's the thing. I'm sick in my body, right? If I'm sick in my body, you can't just change that without changing something else. So if I'm sick in my body, where's the polarity exist at? In my spirit, in my heart, in my soul, in my mind? If I'm sick in my body, where does the polarity has to be created at? Thank you, E. Tatum. So if I'm sick in my body, I got to be healed in my mind. In my mind, I got to know I can heal. I got to know I can overcome. That's the friction. That's the contrast from your real situation. Your real situation is you sick as a dog. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It tell you how your TIE, the doctor told you, I tell you too. You're sick as a dog. You're throwing up blood. You're around here hurting. You're inflamed. You got all kind of degenerative diseases. You got all kind of high this and high that. You sick as a dog. That's true. But what's the polarity here is that you can't be sick in the mind. You can't be sick in your mind. Yeah, it's true. The body, they told you that, but you have to provide the polarity, and that'll get some things moving. That's how many folk have cured themselves. Yeah, they might have went and got an herb. They might have went and saw this doctor. They might have went over to this country. But in their mind, they were doing those things because their mind was fixated on that they could heal themselves. So they had an opposite perspective as to the reality that they were truly facing. Now, here's the thing. When you're dealing with perspective, when you're dealing with perception, it could be reality even if it ain't. So that means that I can conjugate up healing even when I'm sick. Even when I'm really actually sick, I could perceive myself to be well enough to go and get the things that make me well. Mind is emotion, action, and rest, and energy is stability. Dualities. Internal polarities. And when one dominates, that's when you're off balance. When you keep functioning, some of you guys are very intelligent. These are my fire benders. Okay, my fire benders. You don't know if you're a fire bender unless you have did your owner's manual, okay? But for my fire benders, they got the smarts down. The mind is down, okay? They got it down. They're the intelligent beings on the planet. But their strength is their weakness. They also be suffering from anxiety, overthinking, restless nights. Firebenders. And no, it's not because you're a fire sign. Okay? You need your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50 to know which gift you got. Okay? It ain't because you're a fire sign. All right? It ain't because you're a fire sign. And then you got the water benders. Right? These are not water signs. It could be anybody. It could be a fire sign that's a water bender. It could be an air sign, but they're water benders. You need your owner's manual. Okay? But this water bender, it's got all the intuition, all of the emotion, all of the feeling it needs to navigate this particular spectrum. But it'll get overwhelmed very easily. Mucus build up very easily in a water bender. Okay? If it's too excessive, you don't know how to come back. Return back to balance. Water bender. Return back to balance. Fire bender. Okay? Then you got this earth bender. Anybody can be an earthbender. You don't know. This is not earth signs. This is anybody can be an earthbender. You need your owner's manual to know which one you is. Or you need your life path number. If y'all just want to know that, get your life path number. But you need to know which life path got which. Okay? But the earthbender is about action, performance, getting it done by any means necessary. I'll go do it if you don't go do it. Earthbenders are the doers. They get it done. But the flip side of that strength of doing is burnout. Burnout in the bones. Burnout in the muscles. Burnout in the digestive system. Burnout of the diet. Because you didn't know how to return back to balance. You saw this little gift, you ran with it, and you rode it till the wheels fall off. And then you have the airbenders. Anybody could be an airbender. This is not about an air sign. If you want to know which one of these is your gift, get an owner's manual. But the airbender is all over the place all the time. And that's a good thing because it can download and it can be very informative and very innovative because it's always at the new thing. The air sign, the airbender is always about that new thing, that new song, that new information, that new technology, that new idea, that new business venture, that new thing. What's popping? But this airbender, if it don't get rest, it'll start being stagnated, confused, all over the place. Because it doesn't know how to return back to balance. So first we want to teach you what balance is, and then we want you to understand that the goal is not just to reach balance, but to understand that balance has to be a continuum because you are in motion. So you got to know how to continually move back and forth through the paradigm, right? Back and forth through the paradigm, returning back to center whenever you need to. So we don't get too far left, too far right, and too far gone. So we teach you about regulation because regulation is that technique that you need to balance. And your body can constantly balance itself, especially if you know how, but it already does it through the nervous system, through your hormones, through your energy. We talked about that yesterday, the nervous system and the endocrine system, right? You need those two to stay balanced. They are your messengers. And when balance get lost in the messaging system, then that's why stress increases. That's why healing capabilities decrease. And that's why hormones can shift. And that's why symptoms will appear. So the balancing act is a continuum. Biological health is balanced signaling to where you never go too far away from the frequency that can bring you back into restoration, back to recovery, back to home. And when life pushes us out of balance, we got to know this secret to come back, the Sankofa. Now, I'm here to tell you that growth requires contrast. Growth requires some contrast. It requires some friction. That's why it's okay that if you're a fire sign to get with a water sign. It's okay if you're an earth sign to get with an air sign. They're totally opposite of you, but that's okay because growth requires contrast. You may experience a little stress, a little emotion. You may experience a little change. But that ain't coming to you to break you down. It's not coming to you to change you. It's not coming to you to dominate you. But it's coming to you to teach you how to adjust. Opposition is not your enemy. That cancer is not your enemy. That disease is not your enemy. That HIV is not the enemy. Herpes is not the enemy. I'm telling you right now that your spouse is not the enemy. It's just that they just as lost as you. And until you bring them to the table with you with your findings, they're gonna still stay lost. Find the truth together if you want to stay together. But this stuff ain't there to break you. It's there for you to teach you how to adjust so you can keep coming back and forth and getting renewed and go back out and get restored and go back out and get renewed and go back out and get restored and go back out. That's how your body is doing. It's recovering from that burger. It recovered from that alcohol. It recovered from that blunt. It recovered from that powder. It recovered. Imbalance is feedback. It ain't never been failure. And the middle path that people teach about in the occult. This can't be extreme. True balance is not extreme. It's just learning how to appropriately respond to things that happen. So if in my physical life I'm broke, where does my mind need to be? We ain't finished up yet. If in my physical body is sick, my mind needs to be, I can heal my mind, need to be aware. It's the only thing that can stop you from being broke. I'm gonna wait on you. It's the only thing that stops you from being broke. I'm gonna wait on you. You came to the right place. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. This is where we come every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to teach you the truth about your healing progress, your healing process, and your ability to heal, the lack of planning and effort. Okay, so I'm saying you're broke in the physical, you're broke in the body, you literally don't got no money. What has to be in the mind? Somebody said yourself, mindset, thoughts. Y'all didn't get that question. Same thing is if I'm physically sick, my mind has to believe I can be healed. If I'm physically broke, which means I literally don't got no money, my mind, Alejandro said rich in the mind, right? But more than just rich in the mind, let's put something to it. Okay, I'm gonna educate myself. And educate doesn't mean that I got to go to school. It just means that I need to learn what I don't know to where broke never comes to me anymore. Look, you guys, I don't work for nobody, but I ain't broke. I ain't worked in since 2020 maybe, but I ain't broke. Why? Now, I could be broke because I haven't worked for nobody. I don't rely on the weekly paycheck. I don't rely on the 40 hours. I don't rely on the 8 hours a day or the 9 hours a day. So I could be literally broke because technically I ain't got no job. But why am I not broke? Is because I continue to educate myself on how to stay from this place. So even if I'm physically broke right now, I have my mind, I have time to learn how not to be here in the long term. It is what you do with your time that is conducive to what you'll do with your money. If I am lonely right now, I have to be doing the things that I know I need to do to work on myself, to socialize, right? In my mind, I have to work on the things I need to do to be sociable. Ain't nobody gonna meet you in your house. If you lonely and you just sitting in the house, you're gonna stay lonely. So you have to understand, I gotta get my mind wrapped around getting out more. But I don't have to go out and do stuff I don't normally do. I just got to go out and do things I normally do, but just start to have my head on a swivel. And I'll start seeing a guy at the grocery store every Friday, if that's what I like to do. I'll start seeing a guy at Burger King every Thursday, if that's what you pull up on every Thursday. You'll start seeing a guy at Chick-fil-A every Tuesday if you keep going to breakfast there every Tuesday. If you start looking around your regular life, you'll begin to see people that are doing the same crap you're doing at the same time, and that you can start to be sociable with folks who got more commonality that live in the life you live in. That's how you change it. This is the appropriate response to the environmental stimuli. Anger ain't never been bad. But it says, be angry, but sin not. So uncontrolled anger, that's where the imbalance is. Stillness ain't never been bad. But if you just lying around lazy all day, that creates stagnation in your life. So don't look at balance as giving yourself less than what this experience is offering you. I want to repeat that for the masses of people. You guys keep tapping. I won't keep talking. Don't look at this balance thing as you having to get less. Balance ain't never been less. Balance is the right amount. The right amount of time, the right amount of attention, the right amount of internal medicine. I call it the endo medicine that you produce. It's the right amount. And when you understand that the body is constantly, that the life is constantly motioning, and you're just needing to learn how to tap in and tap out, tap back in the home, ET phone home, but you won't call back to the house. Well, who is the house? The house ain't your paternal father and your maternal mother. The house ain't the physical people in your life. The house is returning back to balance in who you are, who you really are. And so here's the thing. You can't keep choosing things that keep you off balance. You can't keep choosing the job for just because of the sake of the paycheck to keep you out of balance. You can't keep choosing that partner just because of the sake of loneliness and those friends to keep you out of balance. You can't keep choosing the situation. So then the first thing must be awareness. And we know that awareness is another word for being conscious of the present moment. Noticing when things are off balance. Noticing when you got to go back home. Some of y'all just going to keep on eating chicken and keep on smoking and drinking and keep on cranking and crunking and you're going to ride it till the wheels fall off. You ain't going to go back to the shop and get a little maintenance done. You'll take your car down there to get an oil change. You'll have them come fix your roof every 15. You'll have them come look at your AC every 15. You'll have them come check your plumbing. You'll have them cut your grass every 2 weeks. But you can't get no maintenance. You won't take yourself in for service. And that's why the owner's manual is the top health assessment on the planet, because you need an assessment. You don't want to go down under them, that's fine. We ain't going to prick you, prod you. We ain't going to poke you. We don't need no blood type, blood sample. We're not going to be microscopic. We're going to be macroscopic. All we need is your birthday. And let nature tell you exactly how to go back to the house. So that when you're off, you know how to get back to the house. Secondly, you have to accept that this thing exists. You have to have some acceptance that you are lost. How many people can really say I'm lost? You have to have acceptance that you need to locate yourself. Because in acceptance, you don't continue to resist the imbalance. How many of you can say that you're lost? It's okay. We've been walking in the wilderness. We've been in the dark ages for way longer than what you think. But this is the Renaissance. It's okay. Shit, I'm in the arms and legs y'all want me to throw up. And the only way I was able to find myself, my brothers and sisters on TikTok and YouTube, was that first of all, I tapped into some ancient shit that actually can locate you in life. It's the GPS on you. It actually can locate. First of all, I didn't even know you could be located. Second of all, I didn't even know this exists. But the fact that it exists and then it can locate, I can locate myself in life is simply incredible. And then this thing is saying, okay, so accept the fact that you lost, but then accept the fact that you can be found. Because that's the polarity. Just don't accept the fact that you lost. You got to accept the fact that you can be. How many? See, we quick to say we lost, but you need some polarity in this thing. So you can't just accept the fact that you are lost. I want you also to accept the fact that you can be found. Just don't accept the fact that you're sick. I want you to accept the fact that you can be healed. Just don't accept the fact that you broke. I want you to accept the fact that you can educate yourself out of that brokenness. Just don't accept the fact that you're lonely, but I want you to accept the fact that you can restore your relationship, your family dynamic, your social status. And when you make this adjustment, when you make this adjustment, because that's what it is. When you start using polarity as the recipe, like the owner's manual will do for you, then you can start returning back to center, being recovered, being restored, being rejuvenated. When you look at Job, the book of Job or the book of Job was nothing but somebody returning back to center, lost the children, the wife coming there talking against God, the family and the friends and the cattle and everything start. But Job, your job is to return back to center. Now, although you're going to get this environmental stimuli, this will arise in your life. These are storms that can't nobody stop. I can't stop you from being sick, but I know what can cure it. I can't stop you from being broke, but I know what can resist it. I can't stop you from being lonely, but I know what can reverse it. So the end of the day, we can't stop the storms, but we know how to endure them. And several of you are going through storms in your life today, and you just have been beaten down and you're tired because you don't know the way out. Locate yourself. Get your owner's manual. Because the real honest truth to you guys is that mastery is not avoiding imbalance. That's not what I'm teaching you. You can't avoid nature. Things happen in nature. Things change in nature. So mastery ain't never been about teaching people and myself to avoid nature, to avoid natural occurrences, to avoid imbalances. Mastery is knowing how to return back to the potter's wheel, back to the manufacturer. Mastery is knowing not to go too far away from mama's voice so that you can make it back to the home and get restored. This ain't never about being perfect. You just need to have the proper response, the proper awareness, and the proper adaptivity. And you can make it through this paradigm. You can make it through anything that you're dealing with. Life will move you out of balance, that's for sure. But it only is doing that so that you can learn how to come back home. Life will move you out of balance, but it ain't meant for you to stay over here, but it's okay for you to go over here. It ain't meant for you to stay over here, but it's okay for you to go over there. The only thing about it is you got to learn how to return. Some of us is getting so right-minded, so left-minded. You're getting so caught up in your stances. And so you're going to eat that until the wheels fall off and do this till the wheels fall off. And you're going to believe this until the wheels fall off. And you're going to just continue to do, this, it is what it is with me, folk. Okay. So you're just going to continue to keep doing. And sometimes all that's needed is just a trip back to the house to recover, a retreat, a restoration, a refuge, a safe house. Sometimes all it takes is just a trip back to the house. Yes, sir. Back to the house. How many of you want to go back to the house to be restored? How many of you need to go back to the house to be restored? Get your owner's manual today. I know what I'm talking about because I am you. And you are me. And I keep telling you and teaching you guys, your body responds to what it believes to be true. The ride back home is always faster. There you go. How perception, how belief, how biology can shape your health. You need to understand what you're perceiving is your truth. But it don't mean it's the truth. But your truth moves you. It is intricate. It's intricately woven in the fabric of who you are. So we can sit here and talk about nervous system and hormones, and we could talk about stress and healing and perception, and we could talk about environment. We could talk about relationships, all the stuff that you get in your owner's manual about you. We can talk about it all day. But when you look at why you may see the world different from somebody else, when you look at how stress is affecting your body so deeply versus somebody else, when you look at how your beliefs can change outcomes, then you'll see that your perception, the way that you view this thing, is the ultimate thing. So what we're trying to teach you is how to understand the balancing act. The balancing act is not something that you just get and it's over. It is a continuum. And if your body believes that you're going through something, that's what's really happening. And your body's going to respond to that. If you perceive danger, you're going to get a stress response. Even if somebody said it, I won't try and do nothing to them. If you perceive safety, you get in a safety and you get in a healing state. If you're under this belief of pressure, your cortisol is going to rise. If you're under this belief of safety, then the calm hormones will pop out. And when you look at the anxiety, you look at placebo effect, you look at the stress-related illnesses, you look at these emotional reactions, this explains it. Because it's all about how you're perceiving the life. And if I can just teach you about the power that you have, you can heal yourself. You can heal your life. How many people truly understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach you about your powers. You have powers to overcome that which is in your life. The body responds before you go do right. No, the body responds to whatever you feel is happening, right? Whether it's reality or not. if you perceive it to be something happening to your life, the body responds to those things. But you got to understand something. There's so many things moving in your body. So the body doesn't wait for proof. It reacts off of your perception. Right? The body ain't waiting for proof. If you perceive this to be dangerous, you're going to get scared. Your hair going to get up on your neck. How many people don't walk through their house? Ain't nobody in there. But when you go through the house and you cutting on the bathroom light and stuff, you got hair all up on the back of your neck. You scared for nothing because ain't nobody in your house. But every time you open up the closet or the room that somebody could be in, you get a little fearful, but ain't nobody in your house. You know what I'm talking about. But if you perceive it, you still get those reactions. That's why cancer is killing you. That's why dialysis is killing you. That's why diabetes is killing you, because of your perception. And that's why we're not getting as much as we could out of religion, because of your perception. And your body be picking up on stuff. It's an antenna. It ain't just your hair. Your body's an antenna. Your skin is an antenna. That's what we call perception driving your biology. And so what we want you to understand is your powers, man. I need for you to know you got so much power. I need for you to understand that you got so much power. I need for you to understand balance really. Understand that balance is your ability to move without losing center, to respond without overreacting, to adapt to things without breaking some of your stances. You got to understand that balance is the ability to return, not the ability to stay still. Nobody's asking you to stay still. But can you move without losing your center? What say you? Yes, Nadi, your body will proceed before you. Yes. Remember, it's a sensor. It's picking up on it. Can you move without losing center? Can you get rich without losing your center? Can you get the family without losing your center? Can you get the mission without losing your center? Can you get the promotion without losing your center? Can you get the fame without losing your center? Can you get the fortune without losing your center? Can you get the husband or the wife without losing your center? Can you get the friends, the popularity without losing your center? Can you get the money without losing your center? That's balance, my brothers and sisters. That is the balancing act. Can you move? Can you get movement in your life? That's what they say now. But you got a little movement. Can you do it without losing center? Remember that all this stuff is information. Imbalance is just information. It's just a feedback loop. What you get out of it is everything. What you decode from it, what you understand about yourself is everything. And when you start getting this information back into the palms of your hands, when the Chinese man and the Mexican man and the African man and the white man and the Indian man can start now realizing and understanding themselves without looking through the eyes of the perception of others. Can't you see how you can be balanced? But then when you understand the four dynamics of life, If one of these are dominating, imbalance will occur. Well, we're looking at fire, earth, air, and water. Mind, body, emotion, and belief. When one of those things are dominating you, you might be good. You might be rich. You might be considered the best. But you're still out of balance. You're still imbalanced. Because too much mind will cause anxiety. Too much body will cause burnout. Too much emotion will cause for you to be overwhelmed. And too much belief will cause rigidity and conflict. Where are you in your healing dynamic? And before I let you go, because I didn't want to come on here long, but I definitely wanted to stay strong. You guys, please keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000. I ain't even gonna stay and wait for it, but I worked for it. And the reason we come on every day to teach you guys about this information is because out of your ignorance, you're creating industry. So if we're going to educate you on anything, we educate you on you, not on other people. I don't want to tell you about a man. I don't want to tell you about a woman. I want to tell agape about agape. I want to tell concern about concern. Sarah, who just joined, need to know about Sarah. Miss Cartney, you need to know about yourself. Sheila Ross need to know about Sheila Ross. BK 5507 need to know about BK 5507. Torah need to know about the Torah. Ethiopian 350 need to know about Ethiopian 350. So once you start to understand what I'm trying to get you to see is that nature is the best teacher of God. And nature never stays in one state. You read a book about a God came into a human being. Nature never stayed in one state. Storms can come and storms will go. Seasons will change. Tides will rise and tides will fall. Your cancer can be cured. Your diabetes type 1, your autoimmune disease, it's just a storm that can go. Relationships are just seasons that can change. Financial situations are just tides that can rise and can fall. Nature doesn't hold balance. It utilizes it to move through the paradigm. Your bones can grow. Your bones grew to get you where you at, Nadie. The bones grew to get you where you at. They have already proved to you. They have already proved to you, tried and true, that bones can grow. If you was a little bitty baby and now you were however old you is, Nadie, so bones have already proved to you that they can grow. It ain't even about asking me. Bones have proven to you that they can grow. See, sometimes y'all be asking, us stuff that you already got the answer to already. And true balance doesn't look like staying calm all the time. I don't want y'all to go away thinking that this means stay calm all the time. I don't want y'all to go away thinking that this means stay happy all the time. I don't want y'all to leave this program today thinking that I'm teaching you that balance means stay productive all the time. No, that's not what I'm teaching. What true balance looks like is that you can still be aware even when you're off. That you're still able to adjust to different environmental stimuli, that you're still able to return no matter how far off the Richter scale you go. That's what balance looks like. Okay? And with the owner's manual for that funky measly $50, we give you the mirror so that you can start to rectify those things within yourself. 99.9% of the work you do, and with us, you do it. So there's no need to price gouge. There's no need to put the prices up because you got to do 99% of the work. And if you're looking to really get this stress thing under control, if you're really looking to get your hormones balanced, if you're really looking to get the terrain or the systems within you less strain, if you're really looking to get some of these symptoms to disappear, you need your owner's manual. You need your owner's manual. The purpose of life, again, is never to try to avoid imbalance. I want you guys to just understand it. It's nature. I want you guys to respond to it appropriately when it's nature. Yeah, it may have went against your will, but it's a greater will that you are a part of as well. You can't just have everything your way. There's a governing body. There's a governing spirited energy over you as well. So when you start to understand that the purpose of life is not to just try to be perfect, but it is to allow myself to be as unique as I was created, and to understand me in that uniqueness, understand me in that duality, understand me in all of my layers, learning how to respond to the environmental stimuli that responds to my many layers, learning how to return from all of those things back to simply who I am. Some of y'all got to take the wig off at night. You can't wear it all day. You got to take that fake stuff off at night. What time is it that you can just still be you? We don't want you to be perfect. The purpose of life is not to stay balanced. It's just to become somebody who knows how to balance. Golly, y'all keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to let y'all tap it on out. You guys, let's get us up to 100,000 likes on the live broadcast. How many of you understand that the purpose of life is not for you to just get here and stay here? The purpose of life is for you to know how to come here. I'm just trying to teach you how to get home. You ain't got to stay. You can come on back outside. But do you remember how to get back now? So we're doing this in remembrance of me. We're rejogging your memory. We may be introducing this to some new people, but we're trying to remind others. My prodigal sons, my prodigal daughters, my prodigal brothers, my prodigal sisters. Do you know how to get back home? You don't have to stay. But this definitely has to be a part of your journey. It has to be a part of your journey. So here it is. I'm walking on this yellow brick road. I need to learn how to get to the house. Re-up on some things. I might need some more food. I might need some more clothes. I might need to just rest a little bit. I might need to bath a little bit. But you know how to get back to the house, and then you can go back out here on your journey. It's okay to come back to the house. I'm talking about to the house of who you really are. You got those diseases because you out here acting like you all alone by yourself. Don't nobody care about you. And your value of your life is fucking plummeted, bro. I'm going to just be real with you. The value of your life in your mind has plummeted. You over there trying to kill yourself with spoon and fork and with job and responsibility and roles and all this stuff that you've been programmed in, and you just, your value for yourself has just plummeted. But going back to the house and see what mama love you. And see, sometimes you need to be reminded of how special you are. Some of y'all need to be reminded of how valuable you are. You will beat that cancer. Some of you guys just need to be reminded of how relevant you are. You will beat that dialysis. Somebody just need to remind you of how needed you are. You will beat that situation. Your value need to come up to beat some of these issues you got going on in your life. Your value needs to come up to beat some of these things you got going on in your life. You need to value yourself better. You say, well, why he won't stop drinking? Because the value, how he sees himself. It ain't about what y'all, he gives a damn about if you think he's a drunk. It's the fact that he think himself is a drunk. The value has went down. And I want to remind you of how God perceives you, of how nature perceives you. I want to remind you of how powerful you are, how relevant, how special, how regal, how valuable you are. There is something in you that if you die with it, I'll never get it. That's how much weight you hold on the world. There's something in each and every one of you that if you die with it, I'll never receive it. Because I was supposed to get it from you. I was supposed to get it from you. And this balance, this balancing act, you must understand that it is the art. It is an artistry of holding opposing forces in right relationship so that the energy can move without distortion. And you must not treat balance as this vague ideal. This is the law of operation. This is what we're taught in the ancient schools. You got to be able to hold opposing forces in right relationship so that the energy that needs to be pulled out of it can move without being distorted. But what happens is the divorce creates its own self. It's like a virus. You know, viruses, they create themselves. They mimic you to create another mimic. So the divorce, the energy behind this disease, the energy behind this, right? Poverty. The energy behind this, it produces itself. So let's say if this is a positive, it produced another positive. Divorce, if it's a positive energy, not a good or bad, it's just an energy. This energy produced itself within you. So you're going through a divorce now. The divorce hit you in a way to where now you are divorced not only externally, but internally. Disease hit you, diagnosis hit you, brought an energy that produced itself. Poverty hit you and brought an energy that produced itself. That's not opposing forces. This is out of balance. This is going down the slippery slope. You can't fix it this way. You can't move this way. So now you say your cancer is bringing forth a positive energy, not a good one, just a positive energy. What do you need? What do you need right here to create balance? Anybody know? Your diabetes has created a negative energy, not bad, just an energy. What do you need? Thank you, Teresa. You need a negative, right? You need an opposing force. You need an opposing force to that cancer. You get that in your owner's manual for a funky measly $50. If you guys are interested, go to the website, type in owner's manual. If you want your herbs that you get from your owner's manual, type in blueprint and get your owner's manual plus your herbs. That's it. This is what we work with. This is the secret to the sauce. If your diabetes has created a negative energy, not a good or bad, what would you need? What kind of energy would you need to balance this diabetes out? I'm trying to teach you how to heal yourself. So if you guys come on here, you're not a part of the HerbMan School, you're not a part of the inner circle for $10 a month, you're not a part of anything that we're doing, or you just coming on to the TikToks and the YouTubes, that's fine. You can learn from here. Thank you, V. You're going to need a positive. Now, here's my question. What herbalist are you going to that's doing this? What doctor are you going to that's using this? What chiropractic, what homeopathic, what naturopathic that you going to using this? Using polarity as a formula, as a recipe to get you some remedies. What service provider are you going through? What service technician are you going to help you with your life that ain't providing the right recipe for the masses of my people? It's time to let you go. It's time to let you go. Somebody said nobody that made me most sick. Sorry to hear that, Tate. Sorry to hear that, Tate. But your body has always been electromagnetic. It's always been electromagnetic. So this is the electrical, right? From the head to the feet, from the heavens to the earth, right? Remember that lightning comes from the ground up. So this is electrical. So the electrical part of you is from your head to your toe. Somebody put this in the chat. The electrical part of you is your hair to your toes. The electrical part of you is from your hair to your toes. The electrical part of you is from your hair to your toes. This is very important that I'm going to say this. The electrical part of you is from your hair to your toes. Okay? That's the north and the south. That's the heaven and the earth in you. Okay? That's the high, the lower self. That's the feminine and the masculine, whatever you want to say. But in reality, the electrical part of you is what we call masculine energy. It's from your hair to your toes, to the sole of your feet. The magnetic part of you, okay? The magnetic part of you is actually from your heart to your hands, to your fingertips. The magnetic part of you starts from your heart to your fingertips. That's why you're made like this. That's why it's right there. So the electrical part of me is north and south. The magnetic part of me is east and west. Okay? All right? So now we're understanding this dynamic. So now you can see yourself in this photo. And so the bro saying to you, it's okay to fly east, it's okay to fly west, but it's not okay to never come back home. Yes, Tay, the magnetic part of you is from your heart to your fingertips. So you resonate what they call horizontally. So magnetically is horizontally, and electrically is going to be vertical. Okay, magnetic is horizontal, electrical is vertical. All right, so that's contrasting within you. Electrical would be positive. Okay, so this would be the positives, these would be the negatives. So you got it in you. This is how you're designed. The only thing about it is some of us are coming into the paradigm. When you come from the womb of the waters into the airspace, most of us, matter of fact, all of us are coming in with too many positives or negatives. So for instance, I'm going to teach y'all about myself, okay? I am a Gemini, right? So if y'all don't like Geminis, keep scrolling, and I appreciate your love. But if you do, keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. Just to show you, each and every one of us, 100% of us, this is not just the black folk. It ain't just the white folk. It's every folk, okay? So me personally, I'm a Gemini. So we know that that's an air sign, okay? The air sign is a positive. So that's a positive, okay? It's not a good or a bad, just an energy. Now, the opposite of a Gemini is a Sagittarius. So I'm going to quantify that as a fire sign, and that's a positive. My life path number happens to be a 6, which represents the heart chakra, which is another part of the aspect of representing the air sign. So we know air is already positive. So my life path 6, positives. Okay? Where is the negatives? Where is the negatives? So this is why I would need to come into this lifetime and find the balance. Where out of the 4 elements, which is the other 2 I'm missing? You got fire, air, earth, and water. Look at me right here now. Air, fire, air. What other elements am I missing? No, there's no good. Yeah, there's no negatives there, right? There's no opposition. There's no opposing forces. So I'm automatically guaranteed to be imbalanced unless somebody has my birth chart, my natal chart, my owner's manual, and can put me on the road to balance. Okay. Sharonda, thank you for that. Okay. Thank you for that, Sharonda. Thank you, Tay. Thank you, Gaga. Okay. So I'm missing earth and water. Earth and water would be the negative. So in my life journey here, if nobody teaches me this, I don't see the value in the earth and water. I'm good with my air because I'm over here communicating. I'm over here living offline, off social media. I'm socializing. I'm on the airwaves. I'm okay with my fire because I'm intelligent, smarter than a motherfucker. I'm able to live off the land and do what I need to do. So you get content with your greatness, and then you don't even look for the purpose is to be balanced. You get content with your greatness. This becomes the reason you burn out. This becomes the reason you got autoimmune diseases, Mr. Renda or HerbMan. This becomes the reason you may smoke too much. This becomes the reason you may have lung diseases. This becomes the reason you may have anxiety and nervous system problems, Mr. HerbMan, is because you wasn't set on the right course. So this, if you just go off this alone, you will burn out along the course of life. If you just go off of just coming into the paradigm without understanding your balance, my brothers and sisters, you cannot live eternity. You cannot live eternal life. You can read it all day. When you go back over there tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday, whenever you can keep reading it left, right, up, and down, how to achieve eternal life. And until you see it in what I'm saying, you'll never be able to understand it for what it's worth. The purpose of life is to reach balance, but to continuously keep balancing this as I go through this spectrum. Because if I just go through this with fire and air, I'm going to burn out. If I just go through this with this, I won't live eternal. I won't live 120 years. I got all kind of self-control issues, all kind of addictive behaviors in here that this opposition right here would work on for me. I got all kind of airheadedness and spiritual beliefs going on that sometimes need to be little stable. I got all kind of fire and all kind of air. You know, when you put air to fire, it just exasperates, it expands, it get bigger. But you need sometimes with that little fire shit you got going on, HerbMan, you need to come in and somebody need to put some water on your ass and put you out. How will you know this information? How y'all gonna know this shit, man? How y'all gonna get this information? How you gonna know it? We're using social media for a reason. Is to put this information out to the masses of the people. 100% of us come in imbalanced. And the more you don't know about this, the more prevalent the imbalance will take you out. Okay? You get it all in your owner's manual, V. There you go. Yes. Any owner's manual serves as a guide to get the longevity, the usage, and the performance out of a particular piece of equipment. You're no different. Your owner's manual is there for you to get the longevity. You can't get no longevity imbalanced. You can't get optimal performance. And look, when you plug that positive up to this negative, it'll go way further than if you plugged it up to another positive. If I'm an air, fire, fire, or air, fire, air, and I go out and meet another air sign, we'll do good, but only so far. If I'm an air, fire, air, and I go out and meet another fire sign, we good, but only for so far, because it's not the opposing force. So now, again, your diseases have these same connotations to them. They have these same constitutions. They have positive and negatives. What is a cancer? What is a diabetes? You can categorize these things the same way, but now you got to know what the polarity of it is. What herb do I need to bring that negative energy into this positive energy? What herb do I need? What kind of decoction do I need? What kind of nature-based interventions? What kind of foods do I need, HerbMan, to bring in the opposition to create the balance? You get it all in your owner's manual for a funky measly $50. Sidereal, tropical, all of that will get you lost. All you need to do is follow the path of the sun. Okay? Follow the path of the sun. You know, don't get lost in the sidereal and the tropical, and don't get lost in the vernacular. You'll get lost, man. Okay? They'll lose you with all that information. Learn synchronism. Learn how to look at things and perceive things in synchronicity, in a oneness, so that you can kind of sift. You can sift out the bluff. Okay, there's a lot of bluff in this stuff. There's a lot of bluff. Okay, you want to be able to sift through. So it's a way you got to learn this stuff. Otherwise, man, look, this stuff will lead you down the wrong world. Okay, this is not about astrology. This is about teaching people how to heal themselves. We use astrology or astronomy. We use numerology. We use biology. We use theology. Those are the four modes of education that we use in order for you to understand exactly where we're coming from. But all four of those is in the same story of the sun. Okay, And we so busy trying to figure out what the moon's saying and what Jupiter's saying and what Mars saying and what Venus saying. You don't even know what the sun's saying yet. And that's the most important piece to your solar system is the sun, which is the solar, which is in the middle, right? Constantly in motion, we are around the sun. You think the sun is going around you. We are going around the sun. Okay. So it's in this same connotation that you're sitting in the middle, but steady in movement. So even your earth is sitting on a tilt, right? But even in that tilt, even in that uneven tilt, even in that unlittle even wobble that it may got, that little wobble it got, it still uses those opposing forces to create balance for you. You say, well, how does that mean for me? It means that you're still getting 4 seasons. You're still getting the 2 seasons. You're still getting spring, summer, winter, and fall. You're still getting the balance. You're still getting the seasons change. You're still getting the elemental flow that comes from nature. And that's what we're trying to teach you about yourself, your conditions, and all of this stuff. Look, man, if you're broke, if your family is broke, I understand how fucked up the shit is today, but it doesn't mean that that's your tomorrow. Things can and will and shall change. All I can do is tell you what to do with your time. You ain't got no money, but we can show you what to do with your time. And when you do something with your time that gets you at an expertise, it gets you at a particular level of information and professionalism, that could be the thing that breaks you from poverty. You just got to know the things about yourself that created the loneliness. And now that you understand yourself, you'll stay from those things to maintain your family environment. You got to know the things about you that created the brokenness. You learn from them. Now you never go back to being broke again. You got to see it. See, that's the thing about balance. So it's a continuum to return back home to get restored. But just the same here. You got to go back to the house, restore yourself, the sickness goes away. Go back to the drawing boards and restore yourself, the poverty goes away. Go back to the drawing board on you and restore yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Get off all the kink bugs and stuff that pushes people away instead of you being magnetic. Then when you work on those things, now your magnetism brings the proper family structure, social structure, relation structure, partnership, and et cetera, that you want. This shit ain't too hard. It's easy. But the thing is that you've never had somebody sell you the book on you. You just literally love buying books on other people's life. And now we're offering you the opportunity. Okay, we know Mother's Day is coming up. So we may have a little Mother's Day special in there as well for Mother's Day, maybe the Mother's Day weekend. We may have a little spell, a little sale, but we need for you guys to get this stuff, man. For your families, for your children, for your spouses, for your relationships, for yourself. The best health assessment you can do. All right. So I appreciate you guys, man. If you guys don't have any other questions, we're going to get up out of your hair. All right. If you know somebody that's been going through the rigmarole and they just don't know what to do, please give them our number, our email. Let them know that we can do a consultation. All we need is a birthday. We don't need any doctor's diagnosis. We don't need any self-diagnosis. Just give us your birthday and let nature do the rest, okay? This is the medicine of the future, because the future of medicine is no medicine at all. And we're going to teach you about your human frame and your human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness you deserve. And you damn deserve it. You damn deserve it. Okay, you guys? So I love you guys, man. We thank you for the 90,000 likes. I know we would have got to 100K. So I appreciate your love. If you missed this video, it will be uploaded onto YouTube, okay? So you guys can go subscribe there and get all the information that you need from there. If you guys are interested in anything that we said here today, Owner's Manual, Blueprint, Healer's Package, Detox, got some family members going through, need blood work looked at, whatever the case may be, allow us to serve you on your health journey, you guys. All right. So we love you, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time. Love HerbMan. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace. You guys go in peace, 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 peace. We love you. We love you. We love you. Peace, peace. Go in peace. Peace, peace, peace. Yes, sir.